Welcome to the Lakeland Community Podcast, a collaboration between Lakeland Media and the Lakeland Business Department.
Hi, my name is Fiona Clutterbuck, and welcome to a new season of the Lakeland Community Podcast. I am here with Chris from the Lakeside Diner.
Hi guys, how we doing?
So Chris, can you tell me a little bit about the history of the Lakeside Diner?
So the history of Lakeside Diner predates way before me. It started out as Moose's Country Kitchen. That was from the 1970s until the mid-90s. At that point, Fiona, the family who owned it had sold it off to a Greek family who shut the diner down and turned it into the Skyline Diner. To my knowledge, the Skyline Diner lasted till about 2009. They went through some financial crises and they lost the place to the bank. That was actually my first time trying to pick up the diner. I was dealing with the bank. The bank wouldn't really give me a clean title property, so my attorney pulled me out of the deal. Which fast forward, had a family that used to own the Royal Cliff Diner, came in and bought the diner. They were there for about 6 or 7 years, who then sold the diner. And at that time, it was actually called the Ringwood Pancake House, and then they rebranded it as the Ringwood Diner. And right after that, they sold it to a guy named Pete, who shut the diner down, and he turned the diner into the Lakeside Diner. That's probably one of the biggest questions I get from the community is, where did we come up with the name Lakeside? It wasn't me. I probably would have stayed culturally with the town being Lakeland, being the street communities come under one, but we are Lakeside Diner for all the lakes that are up in this area. Pete had the diner, he probably had the diner 90 days to 6 months before we put the diner on the market. And at that time, I actually had a small place in North Haledon. I got a phone call from a friend of mine, a realtor. He said, "Hey, Chris, are you still interested in that diner?" I said, "Absolutely." He gave me the numbers. I said, "Just make the deal." I said, "I'm not worried about what they're doing up there. I know what I can do, and I'll make it happen." At that point, we bought the diner. This is actually my 6-year anniversary this month. October 28th of 2018, we bought the diner. We had a lot of work to do because the diner, as much as Pete turned the diner around, the diner wasn't doing the business that it needed to do to really self-suffice. So for the next year, we really put our blood and sweat into the diner to turn the diner into the facility it is today. We all remember February 2020, what transpired. Changed the world forever, COVID. So when I had my best month of the year, COVID hit, and now I had to realign the whole business. So we shut the diner down. That lasted probably for about 24 hours, having breakfast with my wife and 4 kids and my mother-in-law. I said, "Honey, it's time to go back to work." I said, "This isn't gonna last for 2 weeks." So I sat back and said, "How am I gonna reinvent the wheel here?" So I actually went back to something that helped me succeed when I was in North Haledon, was catering. And I came up with a family menu plan, and I kept it very simple. And for the first week, I ran all family meals. And at that point, I had a meeting with my employees. I said, "Listen, whoever's scared or wants to stay home, you're more than welcome. Whoever wants to come back to work, you come back to work. But everybody's gonna have minimal hours." We branded the diner from 12 to 8, basically just lunch and dinner. Most of what we brought in was during dinner time as we went through the first part of the pandemic. As we hit summertime, the government then turned around and we were allowed to do outdoor dining, and outdoor dining went to outdoor indoor. So we had a lot of changes. We were moving things on the fly. But most importantly, we are the community diner. So we really focused on being a staple to the community, and whatever the community needed, we were here for. So whether it be the schools, the local police officers, the EMS, we're always trying to keep things affordable, family friendly, and making sure we are known to be the community diner. Now we're here this month, 6 years. So we're your Lakeside Diner.
That's amazing. I remember the rebranding of the diner. Actually, I've lived here my whole life. So
Okay.
I watched from a very young age going to the diner like with my grandparents to now going with my friends still every day when I get the chance. So it's great to see the evolution of the diner, and especially how it's turned out right now. It's definitely a very big community spot.
It's awesome. And most important, with our kids and our parents, they need to understand the Lakeside Diner is a home away from home. I tell all the kids, when you come in, this is your place, but treat it like it's your own home. So they need to know that they don't need to travel to Oakland or down to Pompton Queen or any of the other diners when you have what you have right here locally. And, as the business expands, we're most likely going to expand hours also because we want to keep everybody here in town. There's no reason to drive further than you have to.
Mm-hmm. Can you tell me more about the ups and downs of owning the Lakeside Diner and just the general experience of the community?
So, as in life, you have your good days, you have your bad days. It's very important you don't get stuck in the grind. As a young kid, you wake up in the morning, you stub your toe, oh, I'm going to have a bad day. You can't really focus on just stubbing your toe. You got to look at what's going to happen the rest of the day. If you make the day a bad day, the whole day is going to be bad. In the diner business, we look at not just Monday, not just Tuesday. You have to look at them by weeks. Because you might have a slow Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but then all of a sudden Thursday, Friday, Saturday become very busy. And it's very important when you're in the diner business, you're dealing with the community, and you don't know what's going on in somebody's life. You don't know whether grandma just died. You don't know whether grandpa just fell down the stairs. You don't know whether mom's sick, dad's sick. You don't know whether, a tragedy happened amongst your school. You don't know what transpired. So one thing I reaffirm to all my employees is when somebody walks through that door, you have to pretend they have an imaginary sign on their chest blinking saying, say something nice to me, make me feel special. Because it doesn't matter what happens outside my four walls, you're the most important person at that present moment. And it's very important to make sure today's youth and our employees know that the most important person in the place is the diner. All right? And the person in the diner is who's most important. We can't let the diner fall, but we have to make sure our customer base is very strong and solid by making them feel special and feel good. So if you see me in the diner, you always see me walk around, you always see me, trying to make sure the customers are uplifted and having a great time and a great meal. I always tell employees, remember the best advice is remember there's always a tomorrow. Don't worry about what's going on today, because tomorrow will come. You might have a bad day today. Maybe your boyfriend broke up with you. Maybe your girlfriend broke up with you. Whatever the scenario, tomorrow's another day. Don't get stuck in today's conflicts. You always got to make the right choice. And when you're, because I know I'm talking most of the student body, when you're a kid, you're going to deal with a lot of peer pressure. You're going to deal with a lot of different obstacles coming at you, drugs, alcohol. You got to make the right choices, because the choices today become a bad choice tomorrow. And you don't want to make tomorrow's decisions more difficult for you. So you want to know that, you might have been at the high school football game, enjoying yourself, having a good time, and now you're taking your way to the diner. Well, remember, there's other people in the community there that you don't want to give the Lakeland Lancers a bad name. So whatever decisions and choices you make are always going to follow you in life. And you never know which kid is going to be jealous of you. And, they might get you in today's world. We got the cameras, the phones, and they get you on, Snapchat or something. Next, you got a full ride scholarship somewhere, and that gets to the head coach who cancels your scholarship. So you always got to think what's going to happen tomorrow in today's world. Because today's world, it's all camera driven, social media driven, and you want to protect yourself.
Mm-hmm. Of course. Speaking more on the Lancers along with the diner specifically, I'm sure you've had a lot of experience with the high schoolers in town. I know a lot of them work there. A lot of them come in for after games and after events, big events to celebrate. Mm-hmm. What kind of experiences have you had with the Lancer community?
The Lancer community, unlike most communities I've been in, is phenomenal. Mm-hmm. The parents of the community are phenomenal. They've done a great job raising their kids. I'm going to say 99.9% of the time, I don't have an issue. If I do, usually I'm very intimidating being a big guy. So I come in the back and I'll say, hey guys, hello, quiet down. I remind them that, hey, listen, it's not just you in the place. This is your place. I might own the place. I might pay the bills in the place. But you need to know it's a second home. And tough love, all the kids that come in, all the kids that work for me, I treat them the way I'd want to treat my own child. If my child was out somewhere and disrespecting something, I would expect somebody to walk over and open their mouth and say, hey guys, come on, you're somewhere special, do the right thing. When it comes to the community, we're always here for the community. So, if somebody needs something, I'm usually one of the first stops for, whatever it might be, Trick or Trace coming up, the Lakeland beefsteaks coming up, the Hyatt, whatever it is. I'm usually one of the first phone calls, whether it be police, fire, Lakeland. I get a phone call, hey, is there anything you can do? And my doors are always open to go both ways. And let alone my employees that are Lakeland students, part of the body. Between the adults and the kids, I always joke around that, I'm the most underpaid psychologist out there, because everybody comes in and, they need to know that, yeah, come in, we're gonna listen. Yeah, I'm not gonna give you medical advice because I'm not a doctor, but, you need to get something off your chest, it stays inside our four walls. So it's good that the student body knows that, it's good that the parents know that. I mean, if I was a fly on the wall and got to record everything that happened every day, I could start a reality TV show, because that's how much stuff goes on in a diner. And you don't even realize it. If you see me sitting down in a diner talking to somebody, as much as I'm focused with you right now, because we're having this conversation, if you were in a diner and we were talking, I would be focused on you 100%, but my eyes and my ears are going through the whole place because I hear everything that's going on. I'll have employees going to be, how did you hear that? Well, I heard the customer say they were looking for something. But you were sitting there talking to your friend, you were on the telephone, that you didn't hear that. But we got to make sure that customer's taken care of so they come back and have a good experience.
It's very big in the community, especially around the diner, with a lot of people having grown up surrounded by this and watching it grow along with it. I know personally a lot of me and my friends and a lot of our families grew up with the diner, and we watched it grow, because I wasn't very conscious in 2018, so no, I don't remember much from that year.
2018, you would have been, what, 6th grade, 7th grade?
Yeah, middle school's a blur, especially having COVID hit.
Yeah.
I remember eating outside in the Lakeside Diner with my friends, and it was very
Different.
very big. Yeah.
It was different.
It was a very big change, but we all grew together. It's definitely very family-oriented, very friend-oriented.
We try to do that. The most important thing in the diner business is we're capturing all people, whether it be the young kids or my senior citizens. But here's the reality, my youth is tomorrow's business. And you have to treat the youth the right way, because right now you might be using mommy and daddy's money, but in 5 or 10 years, you're gonna have your own job and you're going out. And you're gonna go out where you've been respected and you liked and you enjoyed your times. And if we can make memories at the Lakeside Diner with you guys now, whether you're above the frame of the kids that get all the free cookies, but all the little kids come in, they all walk out the diner with a cookie, because they're going to remember the guy in the front gave me a cookie. And the next time mom and dad want to go somewhere, they're always saying, let's go to Lakeside Diner. I want to go where I got a cookie. But now that's going to transcend into, now we have chicken fingers and fries. Now we have our disco fries. Now we have, whatever the next trend is. Now I have my lantern tots on the menu now. A lot of kids order the lantern tots. So it's all these things that are concrete in you to remember. We're a small community, but we're one community. And everything we do is to focus on tomorrow's future. If we make a bad decision today, business-wise, we may not be here tomorrow. But I got to make sure all the young student body understand what we do for the community to help us get to the next level. So now when you're older, it might be your child that's getting that free cookie. And you don't really comprehend it until you're sitting there, I'm putting you 10 years away, you're married, and you got a little one, and you go, where do you want to go? I want to go Lakeside Diner. Ah, damn, why'd Chris give him a cookie? Because now the kid wants to go to the diner because he got a cookie. But that little cookie is going to lead him into being a young high schooler coming down here after the varsity football game. And you, at that time, being a parent, is going to say, you know something? At least I know Chris and his family have an eye on my kid. They're in a safe place. Where in today's world, you don't know what's out there. So that's most important.
I buy my birthday cake from the Lakeside Diner every year without fail. I like strawberry shortcake.
Oh, you love that.
I love it, and I love it from your diner specifically. That's always where I get it.
So you love the strawberry shortcake. What's your favorite meal when you come in?
I like the fries mostly. I don't eat meat.
Okay.
So
I have a whole vegan menu.
I do know that my friends work there, so a few of them have worked there, do work there currently. So they've definitely helped me find things that I would like with my meal restrictions. It's definitely a wide variety of foods. I went there not that long ago. I just got a big bowl of fries, though.
That's all right. Listen, you could have the fries. It's important to the community know. Very allergy friendly, because today I have 2 daughters that have allergies, so I know as a parent what it's like. So we put a strong emphasis on, if you have an allergy, let us know so we can make sure you're taken care of. We have a vegan menu, we have a gluten-free menu, and we'll always let you know where we're at. Like some of the soups, Monday's Yankee bean, Tuesday lentil soup, complete vegetarian soups. There's no meat in. So if you're a vegetarian or vegan, we have options for you. So it's important to make sure you're covering every aspect of today's culture.
I've gone to the diner in many states, both in formal dresses and pajamas. So I definitely feel welcomed there at all hours of the day, no matter what state I might be in, or what state my friends might be in. As long as we sit down and have a nice conversation there, it's always a nice night.
Here we go. I'm glad you enjoyed.
I'm glad that you've made it a place for us to enjoy.
And we're
Thank
happy.
you very much.
We're happy. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us on the Lakeland Community Podcast. Check out future episodes on the Lakeland Media YouTube page and wherever you find your podcasts.